When did Yu-Gi-Oh card design become this bad? Let's watch.
Konami didn't ruin Yu-Gi-Oh! They actually succeeded. And somehow, that's the problem.
What?
You heard the take before. Konami ruined Yu-Gi-Oh! And look, I get it. Every few months, there's a new deck doing something that makes old school players physically leave the room.
Yeah, I don't think old school players, quote unquote, actually ever play the game. Like, we saw a tweet about it like a few days ago. Someone said, like, I miss the old Yu-Gi-Oh! I really like want to the old Yu-Gi-Oh! And whatever. And it's like, bro, you don't miss the old Yu-Gi-Oh! You just miss being 10 years old. That tweet is like so good at explaining what I've been saying, but it's just like so straightforward with it. People talk about the old Yu-Gi-Oh! And what are they talking about exactly? I don't know.
But here's the thing. Konami didn't ruin card design by making bad cards. They ruined it by making cards too good. Let me explain what that means. When people say Konami ruined card design, they're usually pointing at power creep. And yeah, power creep is real. But the specific way modern card design is breaking the game isn't about attack stats or big board states. It's about information. Specifically,
Information. Interesting.
your opponent's hand. Because Konami
Hi,
has been
Sherry.
banning cards that let you see your opponent's hand since the game was in its infancy. Because they know it's broken. Forceful Century, Trap Dust Shoot, a Pointer of the Red Lotus, all banned. All share one thing in common. They let you look at what your opponent is holding. And guess
Yeah, I guess so.
what? They then went ahead and printed it again. On multiple cards, in multiple new archetypes. And one of those archetypes is about to be one of the best decks in this entire game. So guys, let's talk about it.
What is there to talk about? What is there? 16? There is like 15 more minutes of this? Where is this going? There is no way. Like, the point is already made. Like, why is there 15 minutes of this? Striker boss go... Okay.
Old school Yu-Gi-Oh was simple. Monsters fought each other. You set traps, you played Pot of Greed, and drew 2 cards, and felt like a complete genius. The broken cards of that era, the ones that define the ban list today, were things like Graceful Charity, Painful Choice, and Delinquent Duo. Cards that gave you an extra card, or
Isn't it just called card advantage?
takes away an extra card from your opponent, cards that go +1. And those cards are still banned in 2026. Because Konami learned early on that any effects that gave you an outsized advantage, even a simple +1, could warp the entire format if left unchecked. Now here's where the hand information cards come in. Forceful Century, banned. You look at your opponent's hand, choose 1 card, and they put it back in the deck. That's it. Trap Dust Shoot, also banned. You look at your opponent's hand and send 1 monster back to the deck. Banned. A Pointer of Red Lotus, pay life points, look at your opponent's hand, banish 1 card for 2 turns. Banned. You guys notice the pattern?
Yeah. So why are they banning card? Well, I mean, printing cards that let you see your opponent's hand. Do you think they do you think they will backtrack on that? Do you think they will ban Noroi? Wait, they already banned Noroi, right? Wait, they already banned Noroi. What am I talking about? There's no way, dude. There is no. You have to pay with 1 card. It's a level 5. I don't think Noroi was such a big deal. I feel like Rotary is like a way better card than Noroi in that sense. I don't know if they deserved a ban. Dude, what is going on outside? Weekly video of me complaining about the dogs outside my house. Jesus Christ. Any card that lets you reveal your opponent's hand is just evil? Really? You have to know what you're looking at though. Yeah, well, yeah, but at the highest level of skill, everyone knows every card. So I see the issue. I understand it. Now you know my strategy. Yeah, well, it still matters like how you play it, but there is like the surprise factor is not there anymore. What strategy do I know if I don't play your deck? Well, yeah, exactly. But like we're talking about the highest level of playing this. At the highest level, everyone knows everything that matters, right? I do not care about the highest level of play. Well, that's you. Well, that's you. I don't know. Someone said Noroi ban was Earth Machine related. Oh yeah, I've heard that too. I heard that too. I wonder if that's actually true. We will see. We'll find out. I care about what affects me personally. Wow, that's a very interesting take. Well, I think like the highest level of play doesn't affect me personally, but I only care. Like, I feel like the game should be designed thinking about the highest level of play, right? And if the game is not fit for you, tough luck, right? Like, get better, get good. Hello, Joel. Welcome, welcome. I'm still chilling mad about Norway, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And then you get rid of 1 and 2 of my cards before I even play it if I go second. True. Pepper, you... Huh? Pepper, you have recording turning... yeah, I'm recording. Thank you so much, Sunny. Thank you so much for reminding me. But don't worry, I got it this time. I got this. So yeah, let's see where this goes.
Every single card that lets you look at your opponent's hand and do something with that information is completely banned. In a game where you're making reactive decisions every single turn, whether to activate your trap, whether to use your hand trap, whether to go for game, knowing exactly what your opponent is holding is a game-winning advantage. It removes all certainty. You're not really playing Yu-Gi-Oh anymore, you're just executing a plan against someone who has no secrets left to hide. Konami figured this out a long time ago. They banned all those cards, and then, I genuinely cannot explain this, they kept printing new ones.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
On the surface, it looks like a cool new synchro archetype. Music theme, DJ monsters, inline skates, very aesthetic. Under the hood, it's a hand inspection machine. But before we even get into that, let's talk about what this deck does to synchro summoning as a mechanic, because that's broken on its own. When synchro monsters were introduced, the rules was simple.
What are we talking about? Where is this going? My most level-headed take is that hand info should come at a cost. Yeah, no, I agree. That's what Noroi made sense. That Noroi made sense to me. Yeah.
You need a tuner and at least one non-tuner monster on the field. Both on the field. That was the whole point. You had to commit resources and then use them as material. Your opponent could see what you were building and try to stop it. There was an actual real cost. You needed monsters on the field to synchro summon. Cool tunes, sorry to break it to you guys. If you guys don't know what this deck does, the deck basically skips all of that. Every main deck monster in the archetype can use a tuner from your hand as synchro material. Not from the field, from your hand. So instead of needing 2 monsters to survive on board, you're holding tuners in your hand and using them directly without ever putting them at risk.
I never thought about it that way, but it's true that your opponent doesn't know what you can summon because they don't know what level is the tuner that you have on your hand. Also, you can also negating the effect doesn't do anything, right? Because it's just a summoning condition. That's very funny.
And on top of that, the deck synchros using multiple tuners, which breaks the original design intent of what synchro summon was supposed to look like. When synchros first came out, the non-tuner requirement was the balance. You needed variety in your materials. Now you got a deck that stacks multiple tuners, using them from your hand, bypassing the field requirement entirely. That's
well, you
not
just put Rico
ladies
2 times.
and gentlemen. That's an
Twice.
entire mechanic being rewritten. And on top of that, they gave it hand inspection. Cool Tune Rotary is a tuner monster. When it's sent to the graveyard as synchro material, which is what is going to happen when you use it in the combo, you get a choice.
Do you think Rotary will become like the toxic card of this era? Like in 2 years we will talk about. Remember Cool Tune Rotary, dude? What was Konami thinking? I'm glad it's banned now. Oh my god! During Yusei's duel against a teacher, he used a tuner that can synchro from hand. So it's always been a thing. Sam is just making things up then. What the hell? Chiray is, bro. No, what I'm saying is like in 2 years, will people still be talking about this? That's what I'm saying. Like right now, obviously, it's the most controversial card. Well, I feel like it's up there, like between the most controversial cards. What I'm asking is, do you think it's so controversial right now that people will talk about it in the future? I don't know. Hello, Simon. Welcome, welcome. Rotary can ideally be ashed, but they always chain block it. Yes, you know, people also don't know that Rotary cannot see your hand if you don't have a hand, and also if Rotary doesn't see your hand, then you cannot add cards. You cannot activate that effect. That's that mostly doesn't come up, but it's funny when it does. It's funny when it does. Half of why Rotary is controversial is because it came out with an Noroi ban. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Option 1. Put a card from your opponent's graveyard onto the bottom of their deck. Fine, that effect is whatever. Option 2, okay? Listen to this. Look at your opponent's hand, then add a Cool Tune spell from your deck to your hand. What? You guys know Reinforce of the Army is at 1, right? You know search cards are on the ban list, right? But now they're making a search card that not only makes me search, but look at your opponent's hand. Why? Why? How? Guys, read that again. You see their full hand, and you get to search your deck. All in one effect, triggered automatically by a card you are already using as synchro materials anyways. Back to Forceful Sentry, okay? The card sees your opponent's hand and removes one. This card is banned. Rotary sees the hand and searches a card, okay? The next card is Cool Tune Q, and its graveyard effect, also triggered when you synchro summon, lets you excavate the top 2 cards from your opponent's deck. You banish one of them and put the other one on top or the bottom.
This honestly can instantly win you the game. In some cases, this can literally get rid of your win condition. For certain decks, they need one card in particular. That card is banished just like that by random. It's over. It's done. There is no more game. I feel like that's very funny. Half of why wrote. Oh, I already read that. It's a nasty hypocrisy that everyone can see through. We don't like the buy new stuff ban list. Masterduel might have the bug, but at the least, it doesn't have to ban old stuff to make new stuff. Yes, they do. Yes, they do the same thing. It's literally the same. I don't know what to tell you.
So now, not only do you see your opponent's hand, but you also get to see their next 2 draws and stack their deck? What am I reading? I've never seen anything like this, ever. In my whole entire career playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I've never seen anything this ridiculous.
Really? Really? You have never seen anything more ridiculous than this? I feel like there are cards more ridiculous than this. Like, I don't know. Shock Master. And the pre-errata crash card virus and stuff like that. Can I copy your homework? Yes, please. Imagine you play this with Valkyrie goddesses? I don't know what that is.
Between Rotary and Q, a Cool Tune player in a single turn sees your current hand, search off that information, look at your top deck, banish one of your upcoming draws, and control what you draw next in a game that is supposed to have hidden information on both ends. A game where information is key. Cool Tune breaks those laws completely.
No, you said that. A ver, but I don't see them banning everything that works over Heka hands. They didn't, but they are hitting. They are slowly hitting our decks. Like they keep hitting. What was it? Dracotail, even though nobody plays that much anymore. They keep hitting Dracotail. They hit the Floodgate. Hello, Young Maker. Hello.
Completely. And like I said, in Yu-Gi-Oh, information is key. And in a game where you have hand traps, resolving Q and resolving Rotary means that you get to see your opponent's hand. And since everybody's playing 20 hand traps in their deck right now, you look at their hand and you play around the cards that they have in their hand, right? Isn't that crazy? It doesn't even matter if it didn't have a Forceful Sentry or Delinquent Duel effect to remove a card from your one's hand. That doesn't matter. But the fact that you look at your hand and you search a card accordingly to what they have in their hand is the issue, okay? Like, this is actually insanity, guys. Cool Tune is crazy. Now, here's where it gets really interesting because we don't have...
People really think that Sam doesn't use AI? That's crazy. How is that not AI? Oh my god. I barely play 5 hand traps. That's crazy. Biggest deviation I ever seen is the Malice hits. That deck was so overpowering that it was affecting the game's reputation. I agree. It was too powerful. So they slowly made it worse. And yeah, that's why Dracotail was the best thing ever. If they didn't hit 2 elements, Snake Eyes and Malice, those will be top decks still. I'm sure. I'm 100% sure. Yes.
To speculate about whether hand peeking is too broken for this game. We have confirmation already. It literally just happened. K9 Noroi got banned on the May 2026 ban list. Noroi is level 5 K9 monster. It's a strong starter for the strategy. On summon, it can special summon another K9 monster directly from your deck. And its other effect, send a K9 card you control to the graveyard. Look at your opponent's hand. Guys, where is this card now? It's banned. And the community was actually surprised, but it makes sense. Most people expected K9 Ripper to be on the hit list since the card makes the deck better. But
no, dude, without Ripper, there is no K9 deck. If without Ripper, there is no K9. What are you saying? It's over. If K9 Ripper is over, I have to sell all my cards. It's unplayable. Why would we do this?
But Konami went after Noroi specifically. The reason people landed on the hand peek, which is also a built-in starter, that's what got banned. So guys, I want you to think about this. Noroi looks at the hand, banned. Rotary looks at the hand and searches a card, and it's still currently sitting at 3 copies. How does that make any sense? How? The answer is it doesn't, at least not from a game health perspective. From a business perspective, it makes complete sense. Noroi was last format's product. It was released 9 months ago. Rotary is this format's product and right on cue. Get it? Right on cue.
I should dislike the video. Without Noroi, I have to shield $30 a piece for 7 Tachyon. Bruh. Andros has been around since Kuribo. You're so right.
My fiance helped me write the script, so shout out to Joanne. She saw that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize for everything.
That was crazy, no? You guys like that? The community is already saying it. If Noroi got banned for the hand peek, Rotary is obviously next. It's not the question of if, just when. Konami confirmed their own rule with that ban. Hand information is too broken for this game. And then they left the worst version untouched. So let's actually go through this new ban list because the Noroi ban is not the whole story. Going into May 2026, the meta was dominated by Dracotail branded, Yummy, and Vanquish Soul K9. The community wanted real hits to those strategies, and for Cool Tune, which had already been showing dominance in the LCG, people wanted the actual problem cards touched, specifically the hand inspection effects. But here's what happened instead. Noroi got banned, Dracotail, Yummy, and K9 all got hit. But most of those hits were a consistency pieces rather than the cards that actually define what those decks do. And for Cool Tune, they limited Synchro Overtake. One copy of a consistency spell. That's the hit.
Okay, are we being bad fate again? Because they also got rid of the Floodgate. Because you can say, oh, that's an Aturia card, that's not a Cool Tune one. But like, come on. It is a Cool Tune card. Nobody else is playing that.
Rotary is still at 3, Q is still at 3, and the hand peek effect, completely untouched. The result, everything competing with Cool Tune got hit harder than Cool Tune did. And now Cool Tune is projected to be the best deck in the format going forward. The deck that sees your hand is about to run the format, and the banlist response was to limit a spell that helps it slightly going faster. And to be honest, guys, that's a fake hit. Limiting single overtake while leaving Rotary at 3 is Konami putting their hand up and saying, we acknowledge there is an issue, without actually doing anything about it. Anyone playing the deck knows overtake isn't why it's winning. Getting overtake.
What about the deck that it was supposed to be made for? Synchrons? Who knows? Who knows? Hot take, I found some very annoying and unnecessarily loud. I don't think that's a hot take. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's a common opinion. But it's a matter of taste, I guess. Like everyone likes and dislikes different things. What did they summon with synchro overtake? You can summon whatever, right? You can also add Q, right? You can also add Q to your hand to normal summon it. Does Q need to be normal summon? I don't remember. Interesting. Strange Paris Duel Links explains the reason for it hits, but in real life or Master Duel, they don't explain why they hit. Really? Duel Links explain the reason of the hit? That's interesting. I haven't heard about that. That's very interesting. I don't know if they should do that. I mean, I will have to see like how it goes, right? I don't know much about it. But yeah. I don't find loud people funny. No, me neither. Alright.
Take to 1 means that you can, you know, just replace 2 overtakes with 2 Power Desires. You can replace 2 overtakes with the Duelist Genesis. Hitting overtake didn't really do anything. And speaking more on the ban list, Mitsurugi barely got touched either. The ban list addressed a specific FTK piece connected to the strategy, which is fine, but the deck itself is still largely intact. Obviously, the Given Puppet got hit. A lot of you guys have mentioned
this card is insane. This should have never existed. Why was this card ever printed?
That the Given Puppet was for the Mitsurugi FTK or something like that, so they hit the FTK piece. The community reaction was pretty straightforward. The list only exists to sell Blazing Dominion, the newest set, which Coup Tune is the flagship strategy of it. Hit the old stuff and protect the new stuff. Let the format sort itself out. Here's what I think is actually going on. Konami isn't being incompetent. They've been in this game so long and they know exactly what broken looks like. They built a ban list that proves it. Forceful Century has been banned for over decades. And they know, but Coup Tune is a new product. It needs to be competitive. And the easiest way to make a new archetype competitive is to give it access to something that other decks can't do. Something that justifies buying into it over whatever already exists. So they gave it hand information. They gave it deck stacking. You're literally just stacking your opponent's deck. They took the exact mechanic they spent 20 years banning, bundled it inside synchro materials, triggers, so it doesn't look so obvious as Trap Dust Shoot sitting face down on the field and released in Blazing Dominion. Konami
has been doing this for years. I mean, yeah, that's the business model. I don't know what to tell you.
Roy did the same thing. New set, new deck, hand inspection baked in, and the Roy just got banned for it. And now to think about it, it makes total sense on why they actually banned the Roy instead of banning Ripper, all right? Because everybody speculated that Ripper was supposed to get banned, right? They banned the Roy simply because Noroi was old news. Yes, Noroi was a starter for the deck, but Noroi had the exact same effect as Rotary. Not exactly the same effect as Rotary, but the same effect where you get to look at your opponent's hand. So they're like, yo, why would we keep Noroi when we want to push out Rotary? Why should we keep Noroi that has the hand look effect when we should be promoting Rotary, right? It's a crazy business move. They're smart, right? Because if people can't afford Rotary, they'll just play VS K9 still. And they can just look at your opponent's hand too with Noroi, right? You see that? Guys, Konami's a billion-dollar company. They know exactly what they're doing, okay? The message that this sends to competitive players is pretty brutal. If you're not playing the newest deck, you're already behind. Not because those decks are slightly better tuned, because they have access to a category of effects that is literally banned everywhere else in the card pool. And that is why they banned Noroi. You see?
I feel like we have been saying the same thing the whole video. Oh, my head. My conspiracy brain tells me that the TCG knows Kultun is an avoidable balancing problem that they are forced to sell, so they are pushing it to the top of the meta, so they have an excuse to get rid of it. That's insane. I don't think they need to do that. Hello, Christ of melted flesh. It's totally unfair to Kultun and its players. It will never get a pet deck phase later on now. I don't see why not. It's not like they're gonna ban every card, right? If they just ban Rotary, the deck is still completely playable. I don't know what to tell you. You need a normal summon, yes. Still got no clue why they limited Cubsy Yummy way. Yeah, that's a real mystery there. What the hell?
See that? You know what Forceful Sentry does, guys? Sees the card in your opponent's hand, removes the card. The card is banned. You know what Rotary does? Sees the hand, searches a card, and it's still fully legal. It looks at your opponent's hand and is a reinforced VRE built-in one. Konami, what the heck have you done? So did Konami ruin modern card design? Yeah, but not the way most people mean it. They didn't ruin it by being incompetent. They ruined it by making cards so deliberately powerful that the game is now functionally gated behind buying into whatever they just released. The whole design philosophy of old Yu-Gi-Oh was built around hidden information. Not knowing what your opponent is holding is one of the core mechanics of Yu-Gi-Oh! You set cards face down, you keep your hand secret, you bluff. The tension is what makes duels feel like an actual duel between two players. Ku-Tun erases that. You spend your first synchro summoning seeing their hand and shaping their next draw, and from the point on, you're not really playing against your opponent. You're just executing against a known quantity. It's insane. And the ban list, the same ban list that has kept Forceful Sentry locked up for over decades, looked at Ku-Tun and decided that the real problem was synchro overtake. Konami, come on, man.
It's because it's an old card that you can just limit. Yeah, obviously. Not is actually the best starter for K9, but to be honest, still using a synchro material from hand or field is easier than tributing a card from hand. Yeah, no, of course, totally, 100%. Yeah, Duel Links does give explanations when a card gets hit. Example, when they hit Tachyon, they said it's because of the dominance in the meta, specifically the package of transmigration and transluxio. Well, that doesn't mean anything. That could mean whatever. I thought they would get specific with it. That doesn't mean anything. You could say that about anything. I feel they're gonna ban it into the dirt. I hope I'm wrong. You're wrong. I really doubt they're gonna ban like everything. It's that would be absurd. That would make no sense. They just need to limit and ban. If one card is gonna get banned, it's probably Rotary, and everything else can get limited. Q is not as searchable as the other ones, so probably a consistency hit for Q. And ban. Well, I don't know much about the game. What am I saying? I don't know anything. Why are you listening to me? Why are you watching this video? Go and dislike this video right now. No, I'm just kidding. Please don't. Most people say Konami hates pendulums, but I always believe the changes in rules when they added links were specifically to boost link sales. The thing is, like, when links were released, they made them necessary to play, right? You had to play links because you couldn't summon the other extra deck monsters without the links. So they were absolutely necessary. Yeah. So it was weird, definitely. I'll be back after dinner. I want to pitch a video idea. Okay. I'll be waiting. Yeah, let's see.
Don't get me wrong, they'll ban Rotary eventually. My speculation is give this card a lifetime span of 9 months, okay?
9 months
for Rotary to get hit. So Kid and Roy came out of Doom's Dimension, which is exactly 9 months ago from the time of this recording. And Blazing Dominion just came out, right? So we had Doom's Dimension, we had Burst Protocol, now we got Blazing Dominion, okay? So that's a total of 9 months for 3 sets. And Konami usually drops 4 main sets a year, and Blazing Dominion being the third core set of the year. And since the release of Doom's Dimension, the Roy is now banned. We can speculate, okay, I'm not sure if it's gonna happen, that Rotary has a 9-month living span before it gets completely axed on the ban list.
That's an interesting theory. What do you think, Chad? Do you think 9 months for Rotary? You don't think Rotary can be limited or banned before that? Yeah, I mean, that sounds reasonable. 9 months. Yeah, I mean, why not? I really feel like they are gonna ban. Okay, I already read that. Certain Yu-Gi-Oh players hate one of these things: either flute gates, negates, hand traps, and hand reveals to rip a card on your opponent's hand. Yeah. The fact that we have synchro monsters that require 3 or 4 tuners as materials to summon. What? It was the first time Konami made a new summoning method a necessity. Yes, exactly. Most of Duel Link's ban list info is cards are forbidden because it was affecting the metagame, including cards counter, giving the flexibility. So it doesn't mean anything. Or you can make the betting poll and see if 9 months, more or less. No. We can do that later. We can do that later. They will do an emergency list for the World Championship. They can't go towards August without a list. You think Rotary is gonna get... You just came out. There is no way. There's absolutely no way this is gonna get banned like in less than 3 months. Right? That's in 3 months, right? Wait, it was May, June, July, August. Yeah, there is no way. Limited list? Limited I can see. Limited I can see. But definitely not banned. 100%. No way. Let's see how this goes.
And after they ban Rotary, some new archetype will probably get a hand rip effect or something like that, or look at your opponent's hand, add 10 cards. I don't know where Konami's going at this point, but you guys feel me. Competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Has always had a price of entry. That's nothing new. But when the price of entry is specifically you need the deck that sees your opponent's hand, it stops feeling like a skill gap and starts feeling like you paid for an advantage that used to be banned. This to me is not a failure. It's just a business model. And somehow, guys, that's even worse.
Oh, that is easy to say. Oh yeah, that's just worse. Easy to say. But I get the point. I get the point. Limited is okay for the moment, probably. Yeah, it needs more place to get it. Yeah, like it just came out. It just came out. There is no way they're gonna do it. I'm not saying that it deserves it or not. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I doubt it's gonna happen. Not that I want to or that I don't. It's just like I don't think it's gonna happen. That's a different thing. But yeah, let me know if when do you think Rotary is gonna get hit? Let me know in the comments when Rotary is gonna get hit. Because it's true, it's not a matter of if, it's a when. And is it gonna be probably limited first? When is it gonna get limited? And when is it gonna get banned? Because that's probably gonna happen, realistically. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Thank you.